Good morning. Welcome back to another lesson on this Wednesday morning. Last week we talked about patience and how patience can play a role in the time that we're facing with the COVID-19 issues. This week we're going to talk about kindness and goodness. And I think we're right in the middle of the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians 5:22. And as we look at kindness and goodness, I think we've kind of turned a page from love, joy, peace, patience. I think those are kind of things that you possess um, with a relationship with God through the Holy Spirit. I think kindness and goodness are actions, something that we live out in our lives. And I'm going to kind of look at just a couple things today. One's going to be his Jesus life and how he showed kindness and who he showed kindness to. And then we'll look at goodness too. But just looking at Jesus' life with kindness, who did Jesus show kindness to the most? And I think as we look through the story of Jesus written in the Gospels, we see kind of a pattern of who Jesus showed kindness to. Those people were those that were overlooked. You can just look at the stories of who he healed. People that had been outcast by their community that Jesus had pity on and shown kindness to them. Many times you think of Mary Magdalene, um, the woman that washed Jesus' feet, and those type of people that took a position of being lower than others and Jesus showing kindness to them. So I think about how do I apply that to my life, and who should I be looking for opportunities to show kindness to? Maybe stepping out and looking for those opportunities would be with those that need help. Think about showing kindness to my children, which can be tough at times, especially when we're stuck in the house together, but though they need kindness, they need that from me and taking opportunities to show that to them. I also just think about simple ways of showing kindness while in the community. Um, it was a funny, I was having a conversation with somebody that said I smile at people even with my mask on, and how the people can't see it, but I think people see kindness through just eye contact and a head nod or a smile in these times can go a long way. Also, just looking for opportunities to take action, maybe helping in your household or in different ways that you can find small ways to show kindness to those around you, like Jesus did. They don't have to be big things, but just meeting a need. Um, but it is an action. It requires us to do something. So I ask that you look for opportunities to do that in your day-to-day life with your family or those that you come in contact with. We can still show kindness without um, necessarily having to be close to people. Um, so look for opportunities to do that. The next one's goodness. Everybody's heard the story of the Good Samaritan. Um, and how uh, people passed by this Jewish man when he was beaten. One was a priest, somebody that knew God's teaching, knew what they should do, but still passed over. Um, and the Samaritan, who was an outcast himself, took pity on the man that was beaten, took him and took care of him. And just how, again, goodness requires an action. Goodness requires us to do something for somebody else. Um, we probably won't come into this situation where we find somebody that has been beaten and left for dead, but again, in our day-to-day lives, can we find ways to show goodness? I think one of the ways that I've seen lately in my household is our oldest daughter writing notes to her mother, um, just showing her appreciation for what she does, having to work through this crisis and taking care of the family as well. Um, it's just an act of goodness, an act of looking on somebody else's needs and trying to meet that need. Um, and again, both these things require us to step out of our own situation and struggle and focus on somebody else. And that's where goodness comes from, is looking at somebody else above ourselves, and just the teaching of Christ about that, and taking opportunities again to do good things for other people, to lift their spirits, and to make them just realize that God loves us through our actions. So I ask you to take time this week to show an act of kindness or goodness to those around you, as we're together and as we continue to be um, stuck in this situation. Look for opportunities to do good things for others. Look for opportunities to take care of each other. Um, I'm praying for you. I hope things are going well. Um, have a good day.